Hello. So, in continuation to what's new in 2022 release wave 1, today we'll be talking about one cool and great feature that I think is being added into the product called Incline Performance Profiler. Now, if you have been following these series in the past release also, you might remember we talked about a performance profiler inside Visual Studio Code using Snapshot debugger. Now, that was a great addition in the previous release of Business Central, but it was only catering to the developer community or to the pro developers. There are situations where you can't engage a developer in day-to-day activities and specifically around performance problem. That's where the inclined performance profiler comes into the picture, where a user, a super user, or a consultant can track the performance of a particular process when user runs it, gather the result. If he or she can analyze it, great. Otherwise, there is a way that they can send it to a pro developer who can then analyze it offline without being under the customer environment. So it is super cool to how there will be use cases for it. And I'm pretty sure the pro developer community as well as the consultant group of Business Central would be super happy to see this in the product. So this feature allows uh, consultants and the administrator to kind of run this from the client itself, which provides a high level information of how much time was spent on different procedures that has been called during this particular process that the user was trying to do. And then based on how much time the top consuming methods are being called or which app that method is from, based on all those details, the developer can actually investigate and solve the problem pretty quickly. So let's talk about it and let's have a look on this in the product itself. So when you open your Business Central, you can either search for performance profiler or you can navigate to our favorite help menu, and from both these places you'll be able to navigate to analyze performance or performance profiler page. So you can either do it from there or you can either do it from here. As soon as you click on this, this opens up into a separate tab for itself, and you get some options there and also a help kind of a wizard which walks you through how to kind of utilize this. It analyzes how long it took, the performance, and you can start the recording by clicking on the start button. At that time, when you start the recording, any activity done on the client after clicking on start, the system will start recording all the actions that are being performed at that time. Once you're done with the scenario that seems to be pretty slow, you can stop the recording. Then you can share those recording results to a developer via OneDrive, or you can download them directly if required. And then we'll talk about upload in a while. I haven't tested it actually. Let's do it together. So let's think about a process where we are trying to, let's say, post a sales order, and there might be some issues. So let's figure out how that works. So before I enable this, I'll actually go into my sales order screen and see do I actually have a sales order that I can post or not. It seems to be open. I'm pretty sure I don't have any approvals in place. There is quantity on lines. Everything seems okay. So now let's go back to the other tab and start the performance profiler. Now, as soon as I started, it now started recording all my actions. So when I do a posting and post, and then I do, let's say, ship an invoice, when I do posting, eventually it's recording behind the scene what's happening right now from the time metrics, even to every function level, and also to all the extensions that are being in place. The posting is done. and I don't want to open the poster invoice. But what I actually would like to do is go back to my performance profiler and stop the recording. Once I stop it, it'll analyze it and it'll tell you the first thing that you see on your screen is which all apps were part of this process, whatever the process that you ran. So as you can see that the 15 millisecond or 15.95 milliseconds time was consumed by the base app. Then there was some time spent by the system app. And then there are some PTEs that I've just built for this demo, which are taking some time. And then there is system app, which takes some time. Now you can either see that in this view, or you can aggregate view by the different app publisher that they have. Like in this case, the two apps are clubbed together now, and all the apps from Microsoft, which is the base app, the system, and the system application app are clubbed together. If you want to go a little bit deep, you can enable the show technical information, and that way it'll show you which of these apps took how much time based on different apps segregated into this way. Or you can also again aggregate it by app name on the app publisher for that matter. But that's not all. You can come down and see how much time was spent per application object. And you see that the sales post routine took 2 seconds, dimension management and all those. But then there is some subscriber one which took 454 millisecond, and subscriber two also took somewhere nearly that. These are the subscriber. And you can also see the app from where those code segments are available. Again, not just that. If you're a technical person and want to spend more deep analysis into it, you can expand the call tree, which will kind of show you how what you did and what processes happened when you clicked on particular action. So all this happened, and then when it reaches to your sales post, yes and no, it did had a code which did ran, and then the query close happened, and on after get record. And where is my sales post? Okay, this is the page. Then it went to table to check, and it ran the code unit sales post. And let me pull it out. Required. Okay, and then it did fetch this, but okay. So here it is, the confirm post. Inside this, there was the subscribe this event which was subscribed here by sub one, which is doing something, and it's taking quite a good amount of time here. Then it ran the code unit 80 here, and then here if you see somewhere in this area there is that subscriber, that's the other subscriber which kind of executes within code unit 80. Now maybe you are not a developer who understand all this call stack and understand how much time it should take every method and all. You need to kind of send it to developer for that matter. So what you can do is you can come back to a performance profiler screen, and you can either download or share. So it kind of copies that info. Remember that this this may contain some sensitive data because it's client data. So make sure what you're trying to do. Otherwise, you can download this, and the browser or the business center will inform you that may contain sensitive data. So just keep that in mind while you're doing that. And once you're done, it will download a file on my machine with the extension of ALC CPU profile, with an extension of ALCPU profile. Now, as a developer, what you can do with this file, let's turn the tables and open Visual Studio Code. Now, you need to be very sure that you are in an AL extension before opening that file into Visual Studio Code, because VS Code does understand that extension if you are into the AL programming. So you need to be on AL programming before you try to open that. So right now this is sample extension. So I'll just open that file, and this is that file. And yes, I allow this. And as soon as you see, and if you have seen what I was talking in the beginning about what was available in the previous release, it kind of looks similar to a developer. He can kind of look at it from this view, or he or she can change it from here to a different view, and it shows you all the method from which uh, how much time they consumed out of total time, and which extension they come from. So all that information is now on developer hand to kind of troubleshoot this at the same time. But there is another way, which I said that I'll talk about later. If you remember, if I go into performance profiler, that there's an action to upload something. Now let's switch gears, and I'll open my Docker environment, which is on my local. This is my local Docker, and I'll try to upload that file. Now, just for the demo, because as I said, I haven't used it yet. I have not installed those two apps or those two extension into this environment. So let's see, can we upload that performance file here or not? And if yes, then how that works, or if we cannot, then do we need to have a simulation of customer environment in my Docker, which is possible. So let's go to the download, select that file, and if you look at it, it did was able to kind of read all that info without simulating the customer environment into the developer Docker environment or local installation for that matter. So developer can analyze this data without having a similar environment on his or her computer, or having a similar set of extension that they need just to analyze this data. They have all the call tree available, time spent available, all those things are available for the developer on an environment which does not have, which doesn't mimic the customer environment. So that's how the incline performance profiler work, and it helps you to kind of analyze where your problems are, and then send those details back to your developer or to your partner so that they can analyze data in detail and then take the right actions from that. So hope you like this feature, because I'm super excited how much time it will save for the developer to kind of be in those calls, to understand what the performance is, and then spend time to kind of understand that, or replicate that scenario to kind of fix it. So I'm super excited. Let me know your views into the comments. Do like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with the next new feature in 2022 release wave 1. Thank you and have a great day.